Welcome to the John and Heidi Show podcast.
John and Heidi.
Here's John and Heidi.
Today is a special day, Heidi. Do you know what today is?
What is today, John?
I thought you'd never ask. It's the weekend, so let's do the whole darn thing. Saturday the 13th is National Good Samaritan Day, National Coconut Tort Day. That seems awfully specific. National Earmuff Day, which you would think would be earlier in the year, like winter time. National Jewel Day, National Canine Veterans Day. We salute you.
Absolutely.
National Open and Umbrella Indoors Day.
That's bad luck.
Yeah, that's what they say. And Sunday the 14th, National Children's Craft Day, National Learn About Butterflies Day, National Potato Chip Day, National Write Down Your Story Day, Daylight Savings Time, and here's the one that everybody knows, 3.14, it's National Pie Day.
Pie Day.
P-I, not P-I-E.
I remember my mom used to get so upset with me if I would open an umbrella in the house. It used to make her so angry.
Really?
Yeah.
Huh. Well,
I think she was afraid I was going to knock stuff over. I don't
probably.
know. I don't know what the reasoning was.
I don't know how to transition into that, but we've got a guest coming up. Jared Knott. He's got a book about tiny blunders that turned into big disasters. We're going to chat all about that in a bit.
Addiction. It's not a pretty thing. Addiction can lead to many problems in your life. Addiction can drive away those who love you the most. And addiction can lead to the loss of jobs, relationships, and even your life. Don't let addiction tear your life apart anymore. Get the help you need to defeat addiction and put the pieces back together in your life. Learn more at timeforrehab.com. They want to help. Timeforrehab.com. That's timeforrehab.com.
Now, surveys and studies and such brought to you by BetterCreditCards.com. A new survey finds most Americans agree on the passage of a new COVID bill, but are bitterly divided on most other political issues right now. The poll by political science research project Bright Line Watch shows 3 in 10 Americans think their differences are so irreconcilable that they support their state seceding from the U.S. Some people support America dividing up, is what they're saying in this thing. So I don't know where they're asking or what they're asking, but here's the thing I got to say. I don't think there's anything that we can't all just agree on at some point. Figure out a way to mend fences would be better than...
I have heard a lot of talk about seceding, though.
Isn't that crazy? So let's not do that. According to a new poll, fear of dying from COVID has dipped below 50% for the first time since last July. So when they were asking people, are you afraid of dying from COVID, over 50% had said yes. For the longest time, now it's below 50%, which is a good thing as well. I've got a link to both of these surveys, by the way, in the show notes for today at johnandheidishow.com.
Do you have a credit card? We'd like to help you get a better credit card. If you don't have any credit cards, we'd like to help you too. At bettercreditcards.com, we have credit cards that offer different things for different people. Some cards offer points. Some cards are designed to help you build your credit. Bettercreditcards.com wants to help you get a better credit card, no matter what you're looking for. See if we can help you find a better credit card at bettercreditcards.com. That's bettercreditcards.com.
This is your Brain on Drugs, brought to you by timeforrehab.com. 2 drunk pals were left stranded on an inflatable mattress 2 miles out to sea, but they only panicked when they ran out of beer. Yeah. Jackson Perry and Noah Palmer, they had to be rescued after strong winds dragged them 2 miles off the coast of Perth, Australia. But despite facing drifting out to sea, the pair saw the funny side and would simply, quote, check the wind forecast next time.
Oh, my gosh.
They hopped on an inflatable mattress Saturday, this is like a week ago, along with a cool box of beer. And this was just off the coast, and then the winds dragged them 2 miles out to sea where they were stranded for about 3 hours. To make things worse, the inflatable mattress had a hole and it started to sink. Their phones were dying and they ran out of beer. Palmer had to jump out every 10 minutes and inflate the mattress until help arrived. And in the movie, Tom Hanks will play Palmer.
Oh, that is just beautiful.
What a bizarre story. That's what happens when your brain is on drugs. Now, big screen, little screen, brought to you by channelsurfertv.com. The Golden Globes, that was like 2 weeks ago now, but this story's been sitting here for a while. Sean Penn's hairstyle has once again gone viral.
Yeah, that got a lot of attention.
I don't get it, though. Following his appearance at Golden Globes, a 60-year-old actor appeared during the awkward ceremony to discuss the work being done to combat the coronavirus pandemic by CORE, the relief organization that he founded. Mr. Penn founded that organization. And the story online over the last week and a half has not really been about what we've done and all the things, but it's been about look at his hair.
Yeah.
And I just think that's really weird that that's what it turned into. But yeah, anyway.
It was bizarre. Did you see his hair?
It was bizarre, but you know what? Leave it alone.
Bizarre.
What was he supposed
He's
to...
bizarre. So, I don't know why anybody's
See,
shocked.
this is right here is why I haven't read this story. Jonah Hill recently went on Instagram to write about body image. He was just talking about how mean it is for people to body shame people. But the interesting thing is that he did it on Instagram, a platform that is literally nothing more than photos of people taking photos of their bodies. I thought that was a weird platform to talk about that.
Well, maybe that's why.
Maybe it is. I don't know. And Hilaria and Alec Baldwin have welcomed their 6th child together. There we go. Big screen, little screen. Brought to you by ChannelSurferTV.com.
At WeirdGiftOfTheDay.com, we help you get ready for all the fun holidays throughout the year with fun, silly, and just plain weird gift ideas for your friends. If you have a friend who has a bizarre sense of humor, we've got a gift for them. WeirdGiftOfTheDay.com posts a link to something that will make you smile each and every day. Whether you buy these weird gifts or not, it's worth checking out just for a smile. WeirdGiftOfTheDay.com. That's WeirdGiftOfTheDay.com.
Now your scoop of the day comes your way courtesy of RedCrossBlood.org. Amazon has changed their shopping app logo after social media users complained that the app looked like Hitler. Now, I actually had to look to see what this is. You know the Amazon smile that they have?
Yeah.
So they have that. And then above it was like a little banner that was sticking down. And for some reason, when people saw that,
wow,
it's a little blue banner. I'm like, okay, if it was black, if it was lower and it looked more like a mustache, maybe. But I was like, some people just need to.
Yeah, grow up.
I was like, I don't. But they changed it. They're like, okay, well, if it's going to cause an issue, we'll change that.
Businesses, everybody in general just needs to
take a deep breath,
to quit,
calm down,
giving in every time somebody has some tiny ridiculous complaint.
And again, if you look at that and you see Hitler, that might be you. Because I looked at it and I was like, wow, I really had to stretch my brain to even see that. But again, they changed it. It's all good. The world is a better place now. Jeffrey Epstein's in the news again. Remember him?
I do.
Jeffrey Epstein's mansion, his townhouse in Manhattan, is set to sell for about $50 million. Boy, if walls could talk, that would be not a place I'd want, actually. An Arizona man found earlier this month near a water tower, his hands bound with a belt, a bandana stuffed in his mouth, had a harrowing tale for police. Brandon Souls told authorities 2 masked men knocked him unconscious, put him in a vehicle, and drove him around before dumping him at this tower.
What?
The kidnapper's motive, he said, was a large amount of money his father had hidden around town. Investigators, however, determined that his story was false. His motive for lying? Police say he made up the story as an excuse to get out of work. So he just didn't want to go to work, and he's like, I can't call in sick again. How about I have a fake kidnapping plot?
Yeah.
That did not go so well. And a bizarre story from the past. I just wanted to share this because I think it's interesting. In 1961, a farmer in Wisconsin said he was visited by aliens who left him a gift. The 60-year-old, again from 1961, said that he saw an object land on his farm. He shared that the metallic UFO was like 2 reversed bowls with exhaust pipes on the edges of it. The UFO did not land fully on the ground, but when the door opened, the farmer came in contact with 3 aliens wearing helmets who seemed to be of Italian descent, he said. And then they gifted him with... Then this 1961, it's in the history books, Heidi. It's true. 60-year-old man said then when they came over, they gifted him with pancakes. And who am I to say it's not true? I mean, this could have happened. Heidi, it could have happened. And one last story here. Several dozen people gathered beside a frozen lake in Poland to build thousands of snowmen to raise money for a sick toddler. This is cool. A fundraiser. They hope to pay for life-saving treatment for a 21-month-old who had serious heart defect. The boy needed surgery that could only be performed in a hospital in the United States, and supporters hope to raise $180,000 to have this happen on April 2nd. So I don't know if they raised all that they needed to raise, but what a cool story.
That is a great story.
So there you go. That's going to do it for your scoop of the day. Thank you for listening to the John and Heidi Show.
Early to bed, early to rise makes you healthy, wealthy, and wise. This is a great quote from Benjamin Franklin. At InsuranceChicken.com, we know a thing or two about great quotes. We help people get great insurance quotes every day. It's super simple and free to find out if we can make you healthy, wealthy, and wise. Okay, I can't guarantee that, but I can assure you we'd love to help at InsuranceChicken.com. We want to help you pack out great deals on insurance. That's InsuranceChicken.com.
Thanks for listening to the John and Heidi Show this weekend. We have Jared Knott joining us. He's got a book. It's called Tiny Blunders Big Disasters, 39 Tiny Mistakes That Changed the World Forever. And I'm excited to learn more about this, Jared. Tell me, what are some of these things that you're going to tell us about in the book?
Each one has kind of a teaser. A single piece of tape rotated several inches the wrong direction changed the outcome of the Vietnam War. The United States might very well have won, except for this single tiny mistake, which doesn't make any sense, right? When we're talking about a piece of tape, it has to do with the Watergate break-in. The burglars were told when they jimmied the lock from the parking garage into the office building to hold the striker and the door down with a single piece of tape in the vertical position so no one could see it from the outside. They made a mistake, and they put it in the horizontal position across the door face. Well, when Frank Wills, the night watchman, comes by, he sees the tape on the door. What's this? Tape on the door has been jimmied. Calls the police, okay, and the police, they send out, they're trying to send out a uniformed officer who was on duty, but rumor has it that the uniformed officer was drunk in a local bar, so instead they sent the bum patrol, officers dressed as hobos in a jalopy car, who pull up in front of the Watergate. Well, the lookout does not recognize them as police officers, so they get into the building and make their arrest before they can alert them as to what's going on. That leads to Watergate, okay, and then Henry Kissinger was saying that they knew the North Vietnamese were going to be testing the treaty, and the plan was to go back in there and bomb the daylights out of them again to get them back in compliance with the treaty, but they were so weak politically as a result of Watergate, they could not. South Vietnam collapses, Nixon administration collapses, all falls apart because of a single piece of tape rotated several inches in the wrong direction and a drunk cop.
Wow, and that's just one example. And again, the book, Tiny Blunders, Big Disasters, has 39 tiny mistakes that changed the world forever. So we don't necessarily learn from the mistakes. We keep making more and more of them, don't we?
Yes, the devil is in the details. It absolutely is. And I'll give you another example. A teaser there is a single document poorly designed by one single clerk in one single county changed the outcome of a presidential election and led directly to a major war. The war would not have taken place except for this single tiny mistake. Okay, and that it says 2000 election. It is in Florida. It's not the Hanging Chads, but in Palm Beach County, a lady named Teresa Lepore, a very nice lady who was the clerk of elections, designed a ballot. And she made the print big so that people, older people in Florida, could read the ballot. And she had, when she designed it, she had a list of names on the left page and a list of names on the right page and a single row of punch holes down the center, sort of. So anyway, Al Gore was the number 2 name on the list, but he was the number 3 punch hole. The number 2 punch hole was on the opposite side of the page, and it was Pat Buchanan. In the surrounding counties, Pat Buchanan got 200 or 300 votes in those counties. This particular county gets way over 2,000 votes, okay? Plus, there were also 5,000 ballots that were invalidated because they punched both Al Gore's hole and Pat Buchanan's hole, which invalidated the ballot. So Al Gore ends up losing the state of Florida by, I think it's 537 votes, okay? He would have won by over 2,000 or 3,000 votes easily, if not 7,000 votes. He would have won Florida. He would have won the presidential election, and he was adamantly opposed to the war in Iraq. The war in Iraq, which cost over 200,000 lives and $2 trillion, would never have taken place. Well, they had her on Teresa Lepore on one of the morning talk shows back then, interviewing her and saying, "People say that you're responsible for this war," and she was in tears. Okay, we appreciate the fact that you're crying. We've got 200,000 dead people and $2 trillion because of that single tiny mistake.
So when you were working on this, did you have a bunch of additional ones? Did you have to narrow it down to get to 39?
Oh, well, yes. 39 is something of a rhetorical number. Actually, it's more like about 45, something like that, depending on how you slice it. I mean, it was Watergate. Was that 2 mistakes, the drunk officer and the tape? Or was that 1 mistake? But anyway, 45, 50 some odd mistakes. Yes, my second book, which is not yet written, is going to be What the Heck Were They Thinking? A review of the biggest mistakes in history, but that's not written yet. So we're just still concentrating on this book right now.
Again, our guest today is Jared Knott. He is the author of Tiny Blunders Big Disasters, 39 Tiny Mistakes That Changed the World Forever. The book is available right now. Jared, thank you for your time today, sir.
The best way to find it, tinyblundersbigdisasters.com.
Awesome. I will throw a link to it in the show notes as well. So if you're looking for it, it's super simple. I've got a link directly to it in the show notes for today at johnandheidishow.com.
Addiction. It's not a pretty thing. Addiction can lead to many problems in your life. Addiction can drive away those who love you the most. And addiction can lead to the loss of jobs, relationships, and even your life. Don't let addiction tear your life apart anymore. Get the help you need to defeat addiction and put the pieces back together in your life. Learn more at timeforrehab.com. They want to help. Timeforrehab.com. That's timeforrehab.com.
Fun fact for you, Heidi.
What's that, John?
People whose mouth has a narrow roof are more likely to snore. This is partially because they have less oxygen going through their nose. So they're saying if you snore, chances are you have a more narrow roof mouth, whatever that means. Do I snore? Do I have a narrow roof mouth? Mouth roof?
I don't know. You do snore, but I don't know if it's because of that.
Is that my problem? Maybe it's because I just ate Jell-O before going to bed. Blah, blah, blah. I don't think that's what it is. All right. That is today's fun fact. Thanks for listening to the John and Heidi Show.
Do you have a credit card? We'd like to help you get a better credit card. If you don't have any credit cards, we'd like to help you too. At bettercreditcards.com, we have credit cards that offer different things for different people. Some cards offer points. Some cards are designed to help you build your credit. Bettercreditcards.com wants to help you get a better credit card, no matter what you're looking for. See if we can help you find a better credit card at bettercreditcards.com. That's bettercreditcards.com.
Time now for a news headline from somewhere in this world. Dateline Mexico. The wife of convicted Mexican drug lord El Chapo was arrested for running his cartel. Emma Colonel Aspuro, I probably said that wrong. I didn't mean to. Former supermodel, was in talks to get her own reality show, by the way. So I remember we read something about that. They were going, hey, it'd be kind of interesting to do a reality show with the, former supermodel who then became the wife of this Mexican drug lord. Anyway, now it's probably not going to happen because she gets to go to jail too.
Yikes.
So, bad idea right there. Thanks for listening to a news headline from somewhere in this world.
At WeirdGiftOfTheDay.com, we help you get ready for all the fun holidays throughout the year with fun, silly, and just plain weird gift ideas for your friends. If you have a friend who has a bizarre sense of humor, we've got a gift for them. WeirdGiftOfTheDay.com posts a link to something that will make you smile each and every day. Whether you buy these weird gifts or not, it's worth checking out just for a smile. WeirdGiftOfTheDay.com. That's WeirdGiftOfTheDay.com.
Now some weird news brought to you by WeirdGiftOfTheDay.com. A funeral home worker was arrested and charged with stealing a wedding ring from a woman who passed away. According to the Portland Press Herald,
disgusting.
51-year-old Stuart Weston is facing felony charges after police say he stole the diamond wedding ring from 102-year-old Laura Wood. According to the Press Herald, Weston, who worked at the funeral home, was sent to pick up her body after her death. Her family learned the ring, with an appraised value of $4,000 and some other items, went missing. They went to look for the items, and they ended up finding them. Weston was arrested when police obtained video evidence of him selling the ring to Maine Gold and Silver in South Portland. The funeral home told the Press Herald that he was terminated after learning of this alleged theft. So, bad idea. What was he thinking?
Right.
This could have been our moment of duh. That could have been our moment of duh, but it's our weird news because that's just weird. Thanks for listening to the John and Heidi Show.
John and Heidi.
Time now for your moment of duh, brought to you by redcrossblood.org. Pedestrians and onlookers on London Street were shocked to see a naked man streaking down the pavement with 3 police officers in pursuit. The scene happened in the Notting Hill area of West London at about 8 a.m. They see a guy sprint along with 3 officers, hot pursuit Temperatures around 46 degrees Fahrenheit at the time, so it was a bit chilly. He was arrested by police, taken into custody. 29-year-old Ross Sprintham appeared at Westminster Magistrates Court later the same day, charged with indecent exposure. During the footage, the man runs past a police car as two members of the force chase after him in front of the stunned bystanders. Moments later, a third officer jumps out of his car and joins in the chase. The man then crosses the road as one of the officers follows closely behind. He does plead guilty, by the way, and remains in custody. So, what a bizarre story. Why would you do that?
Crazy.
I don't get that at all, but that is today's moment of duh.
Early to bed, early to rise makes you healthy, wealthy, and wise. This is a great quote from Benjamin Franklin. At InsuranceChicken.com, we know a thing or two about great quotes. We help people get great insurance quotes every day. It's super simple and free to find out if we can make you healthy, wealthy, and wise. Okay, I can't guarantee that, but I can assure you we'd love to help at InsuranceChicken.com. We want to help you peck out great deals on insurance. That's InsuranceChicken.com.
All right, get your golf clapping hands ready. It's time for Is It a Golf Course or Is It a Rehab Center? Brought to you by TimeForRehab.com. Heidi has been on a roll lately, by the way. You've been doing really well.
Oh, now you're going to jinx me.
All right, here we go. Heidi, Forest Lake in Florida. Is it a golf course or is it a rehab center? Forest Lake.
I will say it's a rehab center.
Wah, wah. I did jinx it. I'm sorry.
You did.
It's a golf course. But here's a golf clap for everybody that got it right. Even if that's not Heidi. Forest
You
Lake.
wouldn't want to play golf in a forest.
Well, you probably wouldn't.
It'd be kind of hard.
It would be kind of tough. Or in a lake. I mean, what are they doing here? That's how we play. Is it a golf course or is it a rehab center? Brought to you by TimeForRehab.com.
John and Heidi.
This portion of the John and Heidi Show is brought to you by the John and Heidi Show. That sounds kind of funny, but it's true. Go to your local radio station and ask them to start carrying the John and Heidi Show. Here's the best part. They can carry the show for free. They play a couple commercials, but it doesn't cost them anything every month. So if you know a radio station that could use a little bit of help, send them our way. Send them to johnandheidishow.com. Again, johnandheidishow.com. We would love to do a radio program in your community. Then you could listen to the podcast and listen to us on the radio.
John and Heidi.
We always like to wrap things up around here with good news, and I think this is good news. It comes your way, courtesy of bettercreditcards.com. Heidi, I like this story. Here's a headline. 99-year-old and high school student form unlikely friendship.
Okay.
So that's kind of cool. And this happened in British Columbia. They formed a wonderful friendship through a program that connects seniors and young people. Myrtle McDonald, she's the 99-year-old, by the way, says that she signed up for the program after feeling isolated during the pandemic. And Jalen Borland Brown is 17. She said that they were paired based on their common interest of nursing. She said, I just found her more interested than and less of a hurry than I expected. She said, it filled an empty spot in my heart. For the high school student participating, the time spent with the senior can be used toward volunteer hours needed for graduation. They're supposed to speak for 30 minutes each week, but many go far beyond that half hour. Says, I love and I look forward to getting to talk with her every week. We talk for about an hour and 15 minutes. The time just goes by so quickly. And there's an image here of the two of them talking. McDonald, by the way, is a former nurse. She spent much of her life teaching and living in other parts of the world helping people in need. So this young lady who wants to become a nurse really did find the perfect pair here. It says in high school, they kind of say you have to go to school, you have to get a job, you have kids. It's a linear thing. But talking to her has made me realize I don't have to limit myself to one thing. I can have it all.
That's wonderful.
And according to this thing, it's called the Compassionate Neighborhood Health Partnership Society. That's quite the mouthful.
It is.
The program has been blessing to both seniors and students. Due to the pandemic, seniors can meet with their families and students that are having trouble getting volunteer hours. And they say this has been a huge positive response from both sides. So they said in addition to this matchup, we have a 94-year-old man connected with a 16-year-old, and he's writing a memoir with him. The 16-year-old says it was amazing, all of these stories. So I think that's really, really cool. What a neat idea. I've got a link to the story in the show notes for today at johnandheidishow.com. Time to say goodbye, Heidi.
Goodbye, Heidi.
Goodbye, everybody. Have a great day. Thank you for listening to The John and Heidi Show.